Alrighty, we're back and you're complaining about storage again. Oh dear. Let's add more storage then. That's entirely down to this gear situation. What else is clogging it up? Explosives might be. There's 7,000 belt in the network, which probably isn't helping things. There's 1,000 speed 3s. A lot of red belt too. So one downside to the make everything is it does produce a lot of waste sometimes. A few things that just go crazy. Especially anything with a long craft time in particular. Anything with a long craft time has a habit of... Splitters, in particular, had a lot of problems with early on. It's a Naji. How you doing? Just came back from coffee break. There we go. Excellent. Right, because we can't have trees clogging up our unload. We'll get rid of those. Coffee sounds like a good idea. It does, doesn't it? Still miss 100 output. Might be wrong. Possibly. Yeah, looks right. Oh no, you're right. Yep. You're right. Now, this is getting dangerously close to that, which is annoying. Things that yellow, a lot of crafters tend to produce more waste. Each will yeah, that's the one thing it's missing is a way to scale for larger quantities of stuff. Yeah, having more crafters or something produces a lot more waste because it builds up in the chests. The ME, the next step for the ME, which it doesn't have, is a third control wire that says how many of each to turn on. But there's no, that needs a lot more logic. It needs like a second substation to carry a crafter control signal. I did experiment with, I think it's still on Gears. I did experiment with having it divide by 2, 3, 4, and a few other numbers on here instead of doing. This probably has it. Wrong one. I'll just use the blueprint. I think Gear still has it. I keep meaning to remove them, and somehow they keep coming back. I thought I removed them all. Try engines. Wire probably hasn't been updated. Yeah, see, divided by 5, and this should be like divided by 3, yep. And when divided by 1, doesn't do anything. Instead of doing, yeah, divide by 2, divide by 3. And that was a way of trying to control it, but it turns out that anything more than like divide by 3 doesn't really do anything. Yeah, that's one way of controlling it. But it only gets you so far, like with Gears, it's just still a mess. Offset the request so one would cause crafter to go off. You almost need like 2 banks. You need one... so the way I deal with really, really big requests like reactors, wherever they are, I actually use the decider combinator, so no matter what, how many you tell it to make, it always requests only 1. So it doesn't multiply by more than 1. Similar story with the power armor as well, actually. Over here, a lot of those have Deciders, there. Yeah, the power arm itself has one. That way it doesn't suck up a million modules. I think I removed it from the other ones. Yeah, any super duper big ones, then it's always one. You can actually do it in this as well. You could add more logic as well to, say, scale up to a maximum. I suppose you could do that here, come to think of it. You could add... Maybe that's the next thing I'll do, is I'll add some custom limits to it. And just expand it up. I should do something with the lights one day. Maybe I'll try and fix the half one that I got. Breezer player logistic quest, very nice to add to me. Oh, that'd be really good. Anything that adds logistics to circuit network is really handy. Handy dandy. Considering lifting this up now. I haven't gone through all that pain and suffering. Just because this track's going to be really low, it's going to push those down and around. I don't like it. Goes up by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it goes there and then there. And then the other ones would be there and there. I mean, they're still not great. But I can live with it. I mean, I could lift it up by another 3, actually. Think there's... No, there isn't room. I could potentially lift it up by another 3, but nope. Port's in the way. Oh, substation. It's funny, having gone through all that, I just still pick it up and move it. There goes the skull. Does seem that way, doesn't it? That where if you're solo, you always lose. As far as I'm aware, there's no scaling probability. I know Deepbot does have that. Hey, Penguin, streaming all the time. Yeah, I've been on every day, 6 days a week at the same time for the last few weeks. What does the train to the left? It brings iron plate and sulfur. And it gets turned into acid right here. It's a little self-contained bot network. It's like a bot sandwich. Pollution. Oh yeah, from the mine. Yeah, so instead of doing acid somewhere else, I thought I'd do acid locally this time. That avoids having the pumps and the tanks and all that. So we're not transporting liquids. Also, how's that nuclear going? Getting there. I mean, we're about half now. I should hope so. I mean, that's what, 12 point something gigawatts? Almost 13 gigawatts. Where's it get oil? So oil happens over here. So we'll start with this train here. Oil comes in here. It gets sent down to here, where we have refineries which turn it into a dedicated product. So in this particular case, it turns it into plastic, only plastic. And then there's nine of those that just make plastic. Because I actually need 9 of them. And then there's 2 of them which turn all of the oil into sulfur. 2 of them specifically. And then after that, it's going to be, I think it's 4 minimum. Actually, I think it's a lot more than 4. That are going to turn oil into rocket fuel. So the idea of each of these oil builds is they're meant to be entirely self-contained. So instead of doing one massive refinery, you do small little refinery that, just like that. Dedicated sulfur production for the blue circuits. Where does it get the oil? So, oil? Like, the sulfur... Well, this sulfuric acid only needs water and water, sulfur, and iron plate. The oil is done back at the oil refinery. Back here. So this is the part that needs petroleum gas. Yeah, I get you now. Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing the first part here, and the second part over there, which just needs the water. That's also missing water supply. What's interesting is I need 100,000, it's like 120,000 sulfuric acid a minute for batteries. This only needs like 5,000 that is. Which means I can get away with 2 chemical plants. That was an interesting experiment. The total acid per minute needed is 136,000. Yeah, 104,000 for batteries. It's a lot of sulfur. It's 4.2 wagons a minute. It's 209,000 water a minute too. Yeah, AK is just no chill. There's no chill with AK. And then compounding that, the whole one to one wagon thing that I'm doing, it's just a pain. Not sure what that's meant to do. Probably a good thing. Oh wait, I did actually pick it up and move it, come to think of it. Still tempted to lift it up even further. It's funny I went to the trouble of doing it about the center and then changed my mind. Oh dear. Life would be so much I would be so much easier if I stuck to the one thing. Stuck with the one design. I suppose if I was really keen, I would have made that there straight out, and that would have saved a lot of hassle. It's got to bend a little bit anyway because it's got to reach the tighter the tight spacing. Start down there. Time to redo. Probably doesn't matter actually. Ah, screw it. Heyo! Raw Aurorasaur throwing down that prime. Thank you very much for throwing down that sub. I appreciate that. Show some love and hyper chat there for Aurorasaur, who now has some of the best koala emotes on Twitch. I really undersell those emotes, but they are the best. I might be biased, but don't care. And that's the first sub in September, Prime sub in September too, which I think you get at a discount too. I honestly, not gonna lie, I haven't paid any attention to September this year. Because the conditions are so strict, it's debatable whether or not to even bother worrying about it anymore. And you. Didn't I have like repair packs or something for accidental discharges like that? Super restrictive. Also, hey, Ironwolf. Ironwolf's a fellow member of Red Circuit. Just definitely go check him out. Nobody likes an accidental discharge. Right, that's done to a point where I don't really want to touch it anymore. You're still missing inserters. Didn't know that there was a cheaper price than free. There is. I saw you did the name in game. The name in games was really meant for like oxygen not included. It wasn't really intended for this playthrough. I just didn't turn it off. I keep forgetting. There was things, so I got the inserters. Have a weird train stop. I could name the artillery stops after people. You're not Drew. Right, not Drew. Thank you for that follow then. And Dead Heal throwing down that prime as well. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that prime sub. Show some love and keep the love and hype going on for Dead Heal. Wondering if you could note it down for Simone. Oh, it'll stay in the queue anyway. There's all those names go in a queue. Next time I play Oni will probably be when the update comes out. Assuming I don't ever start playing it as a standalone YouTube thing. Become one of them YouTuber people. I mean, the state things are in, I'm probably going to have to. Swing around there. That swings around there. 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 Yeah, that's actually exactly the distance that I want. That. Aim artillery wagons. I can't believe that actually works. Well, I sort of can. Would prefer it's like that though. Would be nicer like that too.
spaced out. So, you know, the signals actually work. I'm not as yet sure. I'm gonna do this. Be there. Signals are fun, aren't they? Signals are great fun, aren't they? Oh yeah, the thing I was saying before, cut that, with the way I'm arranging these. Do the diagonal instead of doing this here, there. It's a lot easier to signal if you do it with the diagonal. There. Yeah, if you do that, it's you're given more work for yourself. Like, bleh, bleh. You're just making more work for yourself. Because like that, and then the next signal point's back up there. That's it. It's not amazing. Tight group of crossings. Yeah, tight group of crossings makes it so much easier. Usually bunching them on diagonals like that goes really well. The way the tracks works on this, bunching groups like that seems to work really well. Seems to really favour it. This is a chain block. I don't normally do these as big chain blocks, but I will this time. That one doesn't need it. Instead of doing instead of doing a signal down there, an optimization you can do is just to say, okay, instead of putting the signal there, actually just do that. You can avoid this if you use 3 tracks. Oh yeah, you can too. Admittedly, I did that there. I do like my 2-track spacing though. Is the throughput still high because they can cross that a bit faster? It's marginally better. Admittedly, the throughput of the trains is already pretty limited. They can't get that close to each other. And we can do a Le Stacker. Better yet, you actually line up perfectly. Oh, you don't though. Oh, did I undo something down there? Might have. I'll keep it like this. Put a regular signal right after the train stops, the next train coming faster. I didn't on this one, but it's a good idea too. Bottom stations, they do, yes. Yeah. I mean, it's a good idea to get it done now while the getting's good. Limit inner outer exits. Yeah, putting signals partway through the stops, or through the unload, also helps trains come in while the other train's pulling out. To really do it properly, you would have a train length coming in, train length going out, and then signals in between. That way, when a train's leaving, you can pull out, clear for the next train to come in before it needs to wait here, instead of coming down a little bit and then leaving. Yeah, you can also pop the signal there. I mean, you couldn't put that straight after. I reckon there's a bit better. I'm not a huge fan of putting signals partway down, just because there are a few fringe cases where trains can get stuck. It's kind of rare though. It's not a common situation. The rail braid. I feel like I've gone a little bit wonky there. Yeah, I still don't understand them. Probably the easiest way to learn, if anything, is probably you play an older version of Transport Tycoon. Open TTD, even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 10. Something I haven't done in a while is a big stacker. How good is braid? I mean, like this. It's 11. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, so it is. Eh. I was aiming for well, I was aiming for at least 10. Because this is a gigantic chain block. Point. It's almost detrimental. Actually, doesn't really need signals down here. There we go. Raid won a lot of awards. Did I miss something? Oh, I undid the tree cutting. One more type game. Legitimately can't think of it. I think I might have missed out on that one. Do the track. Trains need to have that much capacity to lane switch. I don't know how many green circuit trains are going to need to come in, so I built as many inputs as there are trains, at the very least so the reds don't get jammed. Mixing the red and the greens probably isn't a good idea. Something I need to do though. Let's copy that. You. Early modern games to do the retro style. Ah, one of them. One of them. Oh. That's... That's a problem. It's one of those things that's really hard to track because there's been so many retro style games. After all that, it's because these have wagons on the engines on the back, which admittedly probably needs 2 more. Ah, screw it, because it's not a multiple of 4. Trees. some point I need to transition to single-headed 2/8s. Gotta maximize that UPS. Red Alert games are 75% off. Does that include remastered? You see, actually, in saying that, you see Origin is closing down EA's store, which explains why they were dumping everything onto Steam. Yeah, this is the same as the YouTube. This is the same map. This is, it should be, actually, YouTube should be up to date now, as of now-ish. I think the last VOD just came out. Nope, still hasn't come out yet. Oh, they're actually rebranding. I thought they were scaling it back. That's only 25. Of course, it's only 25%. Figures. Now this unique piece of track here, the exact length. Exact length of 282. So help if this was actually signalled. If I did it right, well, I copied these anyway, so they should all be the right length. Had to Google the details. Track no. Interesting. Progressively out of alignment. Well, that might explain it. They're missing tips. There we go. Now it's in line. You see the problem now that I'm starting to face is I need to do this for every build. So I need to do that for reds, greens, oil, smelting. It's... yeah. Good luck with that. I mean, to be fair, there's a chance that might actually happen. Maybe not improving the quality of games, but improving the public image will be their push. So they'll be looking to improve their brand image rather than improving the games. Fire Todd Howard. I mean, it's a good start. You're out of range, that's why. Yeah. Who is the other one? There's Todd Howard and there's someone else. The EA dude. Peter Molyneux, that's it. So here's another weird one. Because apparently he kept EA under control back in the day before EA went totally insane. Goodbye present he receives, custom TI calculator rank Skyrim. Yeah, gotta aim for here. Bugs will never be fixed. It's funny with how back in the day you used to tolerate the those bugs, and then it became a joke. It's interesting also how critical people are of the intro to Skyrim, the opening sequence, even though that has been the standard for all Elder Scrolls games, is doing a sequence like that. It's basically exactly the same as Oblivion's. Actually, the only I was going to say actually Skyrim's just like no. Every time you always start in a dungeon or imprisoned in some way. Every game, you always start imprisoned. Oblivion's intro was also kind of annoying. I'll leave that like that for now. That's what the test of time is still going today. Fallout that was hit and miss. Yeah, Fallout was always pretty meh, in all honesty. I never got the Fallout hype. I never bought into it. Well, I guess it's over here now. Oh, you know what I'm going to use? I'm going to use some rarely seen blueprints. I don't think I think I've almost never used these. I might even need to pull them in. Alright. I'm going to use one of my other rail blueprints. I haven't actually updated these in forever too. I need to get on and fix all the blueprints. So these are the one-way segments. Do I even have? No, I don't. Right, what I'll do, because I stupidly pulled up all the signals, all the poles and everything, is I'll set a reference. An arrow pointing which way they're meant to go. Okay. So yeah, these are the one-way segments. Almost never see these. They are a bit more, I guess you'd call them a bit more niche. It looks like I'm going to need to make a two-lane one-way for a single. Oh, it's kind of pointless because it's meant for like two lanes from two parallel lanes here from one of these doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make a lick of sense. I mean, I might end up making this 4 lanes eventually, in which case it will make sense. Admittedly, you can also do that, but it also, like, what are the chances of things coming from over there? It's pretty low. It's pretty low, but not zero. Or at least I'll at least give it that. Don't like bunching those up too close. Gotta be careful bunching up the signals too close to corners. There might be a game update that breaks it, because that's a thing. I'll give it a bit more space. Alright, that should do it. Almost there. Pinnacle of Skyrim Scumburger was the VR port. So the charge 60, it was barely unplayable. Oh, hello train. I never remember the VR port. I never know why I'm connecting these wires at this point. I mean, I don't really need the wires here. They're not doing anything. I guess just for pedantry's sake. Do you have it modded? I haven't even played remastered Skyrim. I've played some modded Skyrim. The problem is going through the Skyrim mods, they're all like weird, massive anime titty mods. It's hard to find actual mods. There's just so much trash. It doesn't work without modding. Of course it doesn't. King of Skyrim mod. There's also, like, there's so many joke mods as well. Like, as fun as King of Skyrim mod is, like, under realistic. Also, it'd be nice if you weren't dependent on Nexus mods for everything. I don't think you are now, in saying that. Elder Scrolls modding used to have to go via Nexus mods. Hate those. It's not as common now. Back in the day, it was very common that mods would lock down to these communities, where they would say where they refuse permission to have these posted other than their site. Like, you post these mods, they exclusively belong to this site. Glad that stopped being a thing. Troll made that noise and headed to the troll cartoon head. Trollo mod. Back in 4chan's prime. Or the... I approve of that. Me not copying fuel was probably a bad idea. Come to me, bots. I mean, there was also the Thomas the Tank Engine mod for Skyrim. That was pretty hilarious. Go facing off a Elder Dragon, which is actually James, the Red Engine. Randy Savage Dragons. 3 hours, and all we've done is build one of these. I need to work on the efficiency. My Little Ponies? I haven't seen that one. Doesn't surprise me that it exists. I'm happy with the result overall. And here I am thinking, I wonder if I can make the belt shorter. Pathroda! Remember when all the kids were screaming that? How about I stand closer? We only have 59 Logibots. There we go. Should have 200 or so. Underground in bottom left. Oh yeah. That's right. I peeled that up to make room for that. There we go. Yeah, make room for the curve. And I never fixed it. That interacts with voice. You can see that's activated. What? Actually, it is 28 by 28, isn't it? There, right about there. And now... Now I can just paste these down. It'll do everything for me. I guess the advantage of this is I can put radars down. Yeah, instant compatibility. It's great. I'm starting to really embrace the grid. I wasn't sure about it at first because it was going to limit options, but giving it instantly aligning like that just makes it so good. I'll still get rid of these poles. Makes it so much easier to tell if you're on grid. It does. And it also means that if anyone building anywhere, there's no uncertainty as to whether or not they're on grid. Stay. Excellent. Actually, if you've got the V4, there is a V4 now, which does it, and it also has landfill under every piece of track. It has a minimum landfill. I need to get around to stop being lazy and actually do the others. I say get around to it. No, it's just being lazy. Just being lazy. When I have those are all they're on Pastebin as well. Everything lives on Pastebin. Busy being in lockdown? Apparently I'm spending all my time playing Among Us. Play Among Us with a penguin, a goose, and a walrus. I think that one of them was a walrus. I don't know what zine counts as. A Minecrafter? I don't know. I really don't know. Stage 4 is great. It is, isn't it? It's so much fun being unable to go anywhere or do anything. And apparently it's going to stay in for like another month. Even though they're easing it to like stage 3, but the stage 3 is still basically the same thing. I might expand that network. Or I'll just dump all that landfill into that network. A lot of landfill there. Goose, a penguin, a walrus, and a koala walked into a bar. Questions would need to be asked. I wonder how that sits relative to... Oh. Oh. Oh well. It's almost on that one. Okay. Either way, I didn't really plan on it lining up anyway. They're sort of determined by the belts. Okay, you need to empty cargo. That load. Cargo. It needs to join up with these as well. As I say, it wasn't really intended to line up in the first place. I think it's Fat Controller gives you a hotkey to turn trains on. Away with ye. That 5-second counter. There we go. They can just live there for now. Do local colours? Sometimes. I'm not as big on the local colours, setting the local colours. Now I just need to do the output, which I don't really want to do now. Copy and cross? No, otherwise they would have gone. They would have gone already. Oh, hello train. How will the upper trains leave? You need to redo the tracks so that they join up with this thing. Currently thinking about. It's a peaceful world. Well, it's a rail world. Artillery makes it peaceful by obliterating everything within pollution range. If that's what you mean by peaceful. Otherwise, no, there's very much biters. No expansion though. Just keep that off. Well, it's rail world, so it's off anyway, but even then I just turn it off. Yeah, I need to fill all that in still. That thing's actually built. It's still priming on fuel though. Not 15, apparently 15.5. Doesn't actually have 15.5, it only has 12. There's also Spider Squad who... I wonder where they are now. I saw them before, I think down here. There's a Spider Squad that can deal with spiders as well. I send them home, no? Spider Squad. I really don't... Oh, there they are. Spider Squad's here. Do you set up artillery or do you have a train that goes around? I have a train that goes around. I don't have the artillery range upgraded yet. I should have done it before I tore down the silo, rocket silo. Otherwise, I would have been able to do more with, like, that's all this artillery point here can cover. Spires is known as a clutter or cluster. Concerning thing is that when you think of group of spiders, it usually brings to mind, 6 or 7,000 spiders, maybe even more. 20 or 30,000 maybe. Again, possibly even more. That was the one power plug. One plug to rule them all. Zoom out far enough, you can't see the map anymore. Bit of a first world problem, isn't it? Oh yeah, it's because they're a vehicle. Yeah, that's like the problem I'm having. I have a lot of trouble finding spidertrons around the map, as you can no doubt tell. Okie day. I'm going to align it to maybe that. In the States, never seen more than 5 spiders at once. When I was younger, I once disturbed a nest of spiders that was in the shed. Probably 40,000 spiders came out. It was in like a pipe that was just standing vertically in the back. It's a lot of spiders. It is such a case of Aussie problems. And I lived. Used to be a huntsman that lived in the door too, so if you jerk the door too much, that actually happened to me as well. Surprised I'm not traumatized forever, that one. The huntsman just dropped onto my shoulder. It's huge things, like, that big. Massive. Um... I don't really have a gasp or anything. If you got sound ideas, I can add them. As long as they're not too musical. Sway, Gladway, don't live here. It's fine. Gonna have bad dreams. I don't know why, but I'm completely desensitized to them now. Hmm. Where is it? There and there. You know what, I might push it over to here. Like that. She's a little close, but oh well. That's could stay. Any thoughts on Texas? I'm indifferent. Doesn't Clowntown live there? Actually, a lot of people I know of live there. I mean, Texas is kind of big and all. That one way? No. It's two-way. Lives more north. 8-bit guy lives there too, actually. Come to think of it. You know him? Used to do Apple stuff, MacBooks. Now he does retro brighting on everything. I gotta stop reading chat. Come to think of it, doesn't Texas have some pretty nasty spiders? The reason why I need the ini is I need this still to be plugged in. Speaking of plugged in, they need to be plugged in still, or I get flattened by one of these trains. Yep, you're still getting your signal. Watch some of these videos, they do get around. Righty. There it is. I knew it was coming. If it was exterminated, it'd still be standing there. I know this is crashing straight into one of these. Which is suboptimal. But I will. Oops. Damn it! I pull up the signal and not that thing. Thingamajig that does the stuff in the junk. So high trains, plural. Oh, they all escaped relatively unharmed. Do you have a video called Robots Everything or something? You mean on YouTube? I don't know many. I only have pretty much only have stream VODs on YouTube. Tutorial. It's no, not on the bot network itself. I have one which talks about my make everything thing. I haven't done one on the bot network itself. Yeah, it's about the ME specifically. You do exclamation bot ME, you can find it. That's the link to it. Yes, the left-hand traffic. I was wondering why I didn't understand anything about those rails. Yeah. I do both blueprints. I haven't updated the right-hand drive still. Could do that. Oh, well, you're now clogged. Actually, you're now clogged. Also, unfortunately, they can't escape. Bit of an issue. Which I should probably deal with. This is going to jam up everything now. One of those mice with an air cooler on it. Jam? Jam. Jam? Chutney flavoured squishies? Oh, that's hilarious. Can really taste the chutney. Stackers like an obvious thing for a mega build. So anyway, I did intend on doing them, but I sort of with them really. Or the need for them for, at least initially. Actually sits almost perfect. Almost. They don't connect. Don't they connect? Oh. They don't connect. Yeah, these were meant for sort of intermediate, like after the starter base, so I didn't have enough trains to justify needing a stacker, because there was only there's only been two green circuit trains and one red circuit train running this whole time. So I haven't needed to really do anything about them, about stackers. About that instead. How about you not do maddening wires? Well. Tend to do too many trains? Ah, yeah. That'll do it as well. Oh, now you got to intermix. It's probably way too close, actually. It is. Go. Just gain a little bit of space there. Worry is, however, that I'm now going to have even more belts intermixed into the actual junction, which I don't really want. I hate it when that happens. Intermixed, interspliced, into something. Like, that's basically impossible to reach. Like, that's got to go there. Can't one-man army it? No, apparently it is impossible to it actually is impossible to one-man it. I think that's the conclusion. I think it just sounds Australian. I mean, I can look more Australian. There you go. I should look a lot more Australian. Go halfway in between too. The wrong way. Oop, wrong button. Bad button. Now that's a chain. Chain. Regular. Think that's it. Oh, I can't go there. Yeah, that's from the wonky balance on this thing, I think. Yeah, there it is there. These things are all out of whack. The hope and the dream is that that won't happen with the final build. Probably will. Like, cause I ran this without productivity modules and yeah. Yeah. Delete power poles and you're wanting to not go straight. And you can go without one. Sure it'll live. Probably won't. Important thing is I have what is effectively a blueprint now. Green circle looks so good on belts. It does, doesn't it? Just somewhat so satisfying, isn't it, to have green circuits on a belt? Especially when you have like 62 of 62? 56 green circuits on a single belt. Base is doing it for me. I like it when base does things for me. I still need to do red. And this whole track thing isn't permanent. Like, I need to cut in the rest of the outputs. I suppose I could do that. Which way am I going there? Trees be gone. train. Bye, train. Some point, there it goes. See, now I need to do red. More importantly, where are they? There it is. Hello, hello. Yeah, before. No, that was borrowed. There it comes. There it goes. 2, 3, just like that. Each one of these should feed. I wonder which one it's going to go into. Go up. It's interesting. Oh yeah, one up is the closest, and then down. You're not supposed to leave a gap. Interesting. The whole idea of this unloader was it wasn't supposed to leave a gap. And the bottom side's doing it. I think there might be something wonky. Oh, I think I know what it is. I think I know what it is. In goes the green. And it's still 1-to-1 wagon. It's just 4 wagons of green. 4 of these ones into one blue. And it's going to start filling up the chests. Right, next step. Next step is doing reds. Because I'm still cutting and splicing track here, or belts here, belts here for track. It's still messing up the balance. What the hell are you using to generate this much power, and how are you getting power here? Nuclear, there. Yeah. I think it's still short on fuel cells, yeah. You're not getting fuel cells. Why are you getting fuel cells? Probably not making enough anymore. I might have outstripped my supply. Yeah, I've outstripped my supply of fuel cells. Crap. That's a problem. Yeah, nuclear right there. Is doing everything. Oh dear. Might as well just use regulars. That way they can push through. Why does it have nuclear reactor beside your main base? I mean, if you need the power, might as well go for it. Nuclear is really good for power. There's no downsides to, like, there's no, like, radiation or meltdown risk with reactors in these. That's all modded stuff. Oh, they can blow up if the biters damage them, destroy them when they're hot enough, or if you just shoot them. They don't melt down on their own. You have to actively try and blow them up to actually blow them up. There's no, like, overheating them or anything. Like, these are all probably sitting at 1,000 degrees max. Yeah, these are all sitting at maximum temperature right now. Oh, that wasn't, isn't. These will be. 999 degrees is all they go up to. Blue's working? They should be, yes, actually. Oh, sorta. Here they come. I think that's reds. Yep, reds. There's no acid supply yet, so there's still no blues. Main thing is it's going down the right side of the belt. Yeah, so it has to be on the top side. I need to go fix those inserters. Only half? The other two unloaders haven't been emptied onto yet. Yes, this goes. The reason why it's using a half belt is it's also being used for output. The green circuit train's got to do more work, basically. I might need to manage them a little bit. There is as many green circuit trains as there is unloaders, actually, so that's probably fine. They're still getting full load. Yeah, they're still getting full load. So... thinking. So the imbalance that's in here won't be transferred down as long as they stay. Calm down, train. As long as the trains don't carry like a load that isn't completely full. Fix the inserters. So I'll add some more space for trains to stack. I'll add a crappy stacker here. I guess you could call it a crapper. Then I'll go fix the inserters. It's they haven't been copied properly as the issue. The inserters are backwards to what they should be. Don't actually know if these... There. Get out of here. Oh, that one. Oh, almost. Not quite. There we go. I want to go to this one. There's enough of them that I can get rid of that. With the stack insert, the stack size thing, there's actually a better way of doing it. Yeah. That drains. Right, now we'll go fix the inserters. Immediately I could probably fix them remotely. That's looking a little sad. It's actually looking very sad. I can delete those as well. Deleting that combinator stops it from bringing more materials. That's the summoning combinator. Cool to see the big base start going. We're only just started, like, we're barely even starting. Like, we're still got to get the smelting up and running. I haven't even started on that yet. But it is still nice to start getting things going, so... Yeah, that's meant to be there. Meant to be there. So that's the downside, is that there's still so much more to do to get this stupid thing going. Take a long time. That's not where you should be. Try that again. Plug these in, make sure it's right. Oh. There we go. We're the same now. It's just the journey. It's just the start of a very long journey. I don't need that. I do need, however, is that. So, what? I'm trying to think of a way of making it tileable. Right there. There. Say that's -1. Second combinator there. Red wire. Boop. Well, there. Done with your smelting and circuits in your Megabase. Planning a science build. Not sure what to do, installing and fixing stuff. It's kind of what I'm doing, really. Realistically, I'm just stalling at this point. There. Oh yeah, I can't attach that to that. Or that. Should have -3. That would be smart. Bit of what I've done. So what I'm doing is what I've done is telling it to open whatever is below average, which should be the N1. Basically, it's going to force the trains into the stops which are not being used. The ones which don't have all the circuits in them. So this end one here has 132,000. This one has a lot less. And these two have 0. So the end result is, when I paste these wires down from the chest, is only these two signals should be open. I want to say shut. This one should open. And that one should have also opened. Oh. Yeah. I've been trying to be too clever. Needs to be circuits. I can't use each in that case. There we go. Oh, apparently you're also, yeah, just barely. So yeah, this one, it won't accept trains anymore. Couldn't you plug directly into the station to open only below a certain amount of supplies? Turning off the stop is a thing as well. It's not really necessary for such a small junction. So, turning off a stop means the train can no longer path to it. Whereas, and this gets into advanced train pathfinding. This is years of experience doing this, showing now. Yeah. What's the best way to explain it? So, a train waiting here only has to go to there or there, which is pretty short. So, turning off a signal is... This also comes from the fact that you used to be able to turn off signals before train stops. It means that it coerces the pathfinder into going to a stop which isn't... or going through a signal which isn't forced read by circuit network, which has a very high cost to it. It's like 1,000 tile. A closed signal closed by a circuit network is equivalent to a train traveling 1,000 tiles, so the train really doesn't want to do it. When you close a signal, a train sitting at a chain signal will update every 5 seconds, and that's why you'll see. There's a train coming in. Oh, I can't think of it. I don't think I have an example easily on hand where you can see the train doing that. I really didn't want him to go in there. I'd do that. So yeah, the train will sit here and naturally try and it'll repath in its own accord, trying to find the right stop. When you turn the stop off, every train that's going to that stop has to... An update is forced on all trains going to that stop, which is also useful. And it also means the train can't path to this one anymore, so any train pathing to it has to find a new stop of the same name, if any. That's really useful for long distances in between, so that'll be really good for the oil base. Yeah, it's based on the score of a given route, which is determined by the pathfinder. So the pathfinder determines how the distance of the route, and then there's a bunch of rules that determine, like signals add a fixed cost to it. There's a massive table, lookup table of all the costs in the game code. Yeah, when you turn off a stop, the train can't path there anymore. Which is also good, because it forces instead of waiting for that 5 seconds, it causes an immediate update. And that's really good for... So I'm going to do that for this one here, because this is just so big. Like, the train sitting here is never going to... Oil train up here is never going to get down to there. The downside is, it forces all the trains to update, which means it starts to really drag the game down. Especially if these start toggling off and on, off and on. Just in constant condition. Couldn't do either, really. This one will eventually maximize all of them. is your weakness. Can't figure out a good system. I mean, this is the one that I've been doing for a long time. You can just turn it off by a simple Schmidt trigger as well. Yeah, A star is how it determines the general path, and then there's I think it's actually a modified A star as well. Yeah, it's called A star, A asterisk. So the Z signal is each one of these is producing a Z signal. Do you know what your averaging equation is? So I actually gone blank on it right now. It's maximum minus minimum divided by number of samples. So the Z is your number of samples. It's also introducing a minus sign, that's why it's negative. So what it's doing is so green Y is the maximum. The Z at each one is your number of samples, because there's 4 total, so 4 Zs. That's our maximum, green Y. And then the minimum is divided by Z, so I'm able to dynamically add or remove stations. So I could just say Z is -4 anyway, or I could just put -4 in here. The reason it's minus is you need to introduce that minus sign somewhere. And then you do wire addition on this combinator. So we have our maximum. We divide it by... We actually cut up the equation and rearrange it. This is something I still don't fully grasp, because they're actually cutting up the equation and rearranging it. There's a lot of... Yeah, there's some trickery going on. The end result is you have the average compared against your local quantity. And then when you're above average to the rest of the station, then it turns it off. If that makes sense. That rambling makes sense. It's been a while since I've actually had to think about it. Okay, you lost me. Yeah. What goes on in here is pretty... There's a lot of trickery going on. I think I also explained it wrong in the sense that it's not actually it's not looking for an average in the same way. Yeah, as I say, there's a lot of mathematical trickery going on in that one. Very sneaky sneak. I might have to sit down and write out the equation. All I can say is it's Mad Zuri stuff. That's where I got it from. That I can say for sure. Probably gives you an idea of why it's so wild. The other thing I need to do is the top side as well, so it's actually 8. So I'm going to cut those off, reinstate these, make sure that train doesn't... See, this thing's filled up all the chests now. Probably upset a train or two. Yeah, it did upset some trains. I mean, if you explained it really well. Need dates on these YouTube tutorials. I need to actually, yeah, do that. I've been saying I should really do that for like since 2017. It's always like work or things that get in the way. I got no excuse now, other than Among Us. Let's not stand on the track. There are trains coming. Like that. Yeah, a lot of The real crazy builds can be credited to Madzuri. Oh, that's right, it doesn't quite reach. I remember that now. There we go. I need to do a similar thing with that too. He used to do all kinds of crazy science things or research things on YouTube and then stopped. On Twitch, not YouTube. Used to do them. I deleted everything that was actually needed to do that. I also should have wired the red in. Oh yeah, it's been been around here off and on. What was that? Oh dear. How's hype for Cyberpunk 2077? I mean, I'm still indifferent. I don't get hyped. 8. I seriously don't get hyped for most releases. I'm not quite sure what the compelling hype is still. There we go. So it's definitely going to go to these now. These are well under average. There it is. What's amazing is that's actually a turbo user. Change the value of Z? No, no need. So because there's one at every stop, it automatically adds up to 8. So as I keep connecting them, it automatically scales. Which is a handy dandy feature. I'm actually impressed. That was a turbo account too. Like, that's like $10 a month. Do I need to do it for this one? I could do the just a simple toggle on this one. Because it's just 2. There's actually a one combinator way of doing it as well. I can go that divided by -2. I'll put that. This is crazy stuff I'm about to do. So I need to join these. Hang on. I actually need 2 poles for this. So this is the one combinator way of doing the same thing. That. Make sure there's no trains. Pop Pop that there. Red wire. To, well, there I guess. Trains. Red wire. Push that over. Green wire, green wire. Green wire. Off to bed. Alright, have a good one, Higios. So now I need the contents of this combinator. The same. There. So that should close now. So yes, that's the one combinator way of doing it. You just need 2 green wires. That's old stuff. That one kind of blows my mind. French. Ask Fire Razor for that. Someone coming? Yes. There's a train coming. Now, did I fix the inserters? Yeah, I did. Nope, I haven't. Now it's fixed, yep. Grill and do anything Factorio related at the same time. Oh dear. I take it something grilling didn't go well. I don't know if I fixed these already, but I'm going to fix them again anyway. Caught it in time to be edible? Well, that's lucky. Yeah, I think I fixed red circuits only. Alright. I guess the real thing to do would be... Yeah, and you got 250 bots, no construction. Irrigation. So 1, 2 about there, probably somewhere up here. Sort of guessing right now. Something like that. I'll just use the... Just obliterate everything. Scorched earth. Dippered rock. Even get rid of the cliffs. That's how determined I am. There you go, bots. This thing's set up to remove... If I bring foreign items in, it's set to remove them. It's also set to bring train fuel in. It's a little blurb. It's at this point that I realise I could really use some landfill. I would say there's an idea of a landfill Spidertron. I already tried it and it's really not that good. You need like an endless army cycling around. You need like something like what Colonel Willard do on an industrial scale. Like his concrete trains. You need something like that. Yeah, right. So the test for the spacing is a roboport. Then it's the same as that. There's the weird ISO linear space view. It's a roboport. Well, roboport would normally fit between there. And then for the diagonal to be right, it needs to fit diagonally as well. That means you've got 4 tiles. Trouble is, it looks kind of wide. And I tend to vary between them. Probably the best example... Do I have an example even? Yeah. So the standard directional spacing port there can do a robot port. But lane +2 belt 4 lanes. See the 4 lane when they're going the same direction, I bring them a bit closer. Can you believe I even thought about that? When I was coming up with the 4 lanes, I actually did think about that. You know. Dumb and it's pointless, but I did it anyway. Then again, that's the story of the game, really, isn't it? It's dumb and pointless, but we did it anyway. There's a smart money's on actually using these as well. Pythagorean theorem. Yeah, probably cram Pythagorean in there as well, just for good measure. You know how there's this outpost in the way? Bye, train. Oh, you're gonna come steaming through any minute now. There it is. Or at least get some iron. Not what I intended, you need to go there. Then I've got to call some oil trains in. Then we can make some blue circuits. Blue circuits. Oh, you're still filling. Ah, there it is. Yeah, there's just not enough green circuit production. Yeah, technically they are. It's some concessions need to be made. I was hoping you wouldn't pay that much attention. That's why it looks wider, is because it is wider. But the measurement is, if you can fit a roboport in both the horizontal and diagonal. There it is. Oh dear. Bit wobbly. Also, I can get rid of that. Not that. God damn it. Stop clicking things. I need to stop clicking things. Trouble is, it also means I need to... there. I need to do smarts on this too. I might do that in between adding the smarts on here. Unless people want to actually see it. I try and... Some things which are kind of mundane, I try and do in between. Somebody have download somewhere? To investigate the oil build? Not yet. I do plan to though. Hey, Snowball. I also want to... What I will do is... I will finish compiling this book so far, and then it will have all of the individual builds in them that we've made so far, and I'll keep updating them as we go. So this has got the smelters, the oil base, the red. I have greens as well. Thought I did greens. Okay, I'll have to add greens. I only just started compiling it. Yeah, some interesting stuff going on. I'm quite happy with these builds. This, I don't remember where I got it from originally. I saw the idea of a self-contained oil build was something that I saw a very long time ago, back in like version 14. And as soon as I saw the first one, I was like, okay, I'm doing these forever now. Time to head off. Right, have a good one, the Black Condor. I don't know how much longer I'll go for. It's just past 12. There is a chance I'll also start up again. It's never with the host. There's a chance I'll start up again with some Among Us. Let's see what's going on there. That'd be a maybe though. You come round to there. And what I mean is, so it doesn't contribute to a larger refinery. So oil comes in, crude oil comes in, and then plastic comes out the top. Yeah, so they're all separate builds. So the oil, and none of the oil is used anywhere else. It's only, so all of these plastic builds, an oil train comes in and makes plastic there. So all the heavy oil, the light oil, and the petroleum gas all contributes to just this plastic. And the same thing's repeated 9 times. And then, you know, the sulfur, same thing. The oil that comes in only contributes to that. There it is. It only contributes to that sulfur. So much nicer than having a mega refinery. You're missing water. Have a separate build for light oil and lubricant. What I've actually done is included one lubricant in every build, and what I'm going to do is join them all together. Join all the lubricants together and stuff. I was actually going to put it up there, the lubricant train. And that'll provide more than enough lubricant. Sweet baby Tim. Have a good one. Sweet baby Tim. One pump on the train unload. It is? Oh, it is too. Ah, that's mildly inconvenient. Oh, bye train. I was missing this pump as well. Pretty sure it's missing more than one pump though. Oh, that's more water. Needs more water. Yeah, acid needs a lot of water. There we go. has there been a delivery of... There has been a delivery of iron. Iron. There's another delivery of iron. $7,000 sulfur a second. A minute? Second. Struggling on gas. Why are you struggling on gas? Something's not connected. Ah. I only have 8 satellites. I haven't built science yet. I'm still building the intermediates. That's just how big this place is. There we go. I should now be doing 10. Yeah, this build can do 10,000 sulfur a minute. So I can do 20,000 sulfur a minute total across 2 of them. It's funny how it's sending them down there too, because the network isn't isolated yet. Which might actually be a problem. Sludgy bots? Yep. I realize you're trying to help, but you're not helping. So yeah, I haven't like smelting still building, oil's not done, circuits is about the only thing that's done at the minute. It's taken ages to build all this up. How am I powering? With nuclear, of course. Well, it's not even a lot of nuclear yet. I mean, well, not really, because again, things are only, things are barely spinning up, so it's only 8 gigawatts. I think the power consumption is going to be something like 30 or 40 gigawatts. Have you had red circuits up here? Yes, you have. Alright, we're almost fully loaded. You're both closed. Why are you both closed? Something's wrong. Because that shouldn't happen. Any reason not to keep the first base? Well, with a base like this, with a build like this, you need to keep, well, I did keep this one chugging along with science, but I needed to concentrate on modules and other stuff just to build the base. Like, I couldn't afford to spend it on science, and it was starting to get expensive. The science for what it was doing was getting a bit excessive. The starter base can, it only does like 60, at best 60 science a minute, which isn't much. But it's fine for doing your basic research, but once you get into, like, this, you're 8,000 science total. It gets expensive. Can you come down here? Okay. Oops. Have they changed it for the new going to be UPS friendly? It's a bit better. It's been changed. It was changed. It was improved a while ago. It's still not great, but you can a decent UPS optimized build will get you pretty far. Interesting to see what the UPS drain of the nuclear is in the end. I love how it just empties it in less than 5 seconds. How many hours do I have in this? Too many. Do I have? 3 days, 13 hours. Oh, actually we're off. Oh, I know why. Just 'cause I'm dumb. Because I removed the end locos. Way further along than most 100-hour maps. It's true, given the scale of everything that needs to be built, it's pretty far along. I'm thinking in between the end of this time and next time, I might tear up these and reset the productivities on them. Because that's going to take quite a while on its own. Got to dump all the materials that can't go back in. Yeah, just reset everything. Here we go. Here we go. I think it was meant to be greater than or equal to those signals. Not less than. Or less than or equal to. There it goes. It's not going to produce for very long. 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6, 7, 8. Sort of capping out 9. Yeah, it's going to peak out soon. 9,000 a minute's a good sign though. So why? Oh. Some idiot put a roboport in the way. Oh. God damn it. There we go. How much per minute? I need 8,000 per minute of blues. I mean, that was... peak? A lot. Yeah, over 9,000. What did I need? It was like 8,700, 8,800 blues per minute. I need 61,000 reds and 267,000 greens per minute. So that's all the red and the green that I need, and this is all the blue that I need. Which, as it turns out, is actually a lot. What's funny is that one row is still going to be going, and it's still going to be producing a ton. Really, it's already maxed out. Who did that? If the green circuit trains ever come back round, they'll fill in the last lanes. I probably shouldn't have turned it on before building the exit, the loaders though. Probably shouldn't have done that. That's actually really bad. Let's grab this one. I mean, it's probably not the end of the world, but it's not ideal. That should also maybe be there. Coming up hard against the build. And then I put the output on the other side. That way, the thinking is that way the paths don't cross. Still do it. I could have the blues circuit loading trains come in there and up. That would work too. Yeah, right about there. Just landfill it. And they just go up like there. The other thing, that should have been there. I'm going to put each and every blue back exactly as I found it. It's going to be out of balance. Maybe okay. No, no, don't keep going. That. Gotta control myself. I really don't want to have to reset this. It's a lot of circuits to dump. Dump them into E modules? Yeah, it's true. I still have somewhere to dump them at least right now. Eventually, like if it was later on in the game, there would be a problem there. Unless I dumped them into like a spare satellite build or something. A spare resource sink. It says I'm consistently getting like 16 out of it. The reds that I picked up could be a problem. That may affect the red circuit trains. But hopefully it's such a small amount it shouldn't matter. There. That. Yeah, it's the unload. The loader, I mean. Give it lots of room. Because I have this bad habit of not giving them lots of room, and then having instant regret. There. And about there. Legit. Probably could use a better loading system as well. Don't know that I need 4 chests. Oh, I could limit them too. Oh, they are limited. Never mind. I don't remember actually limiting those circuit ones. So carrying something from the iron miners? Ah, crap, I linked the networks. That's not good. There you go. It's dumping all the copper ore. It's actually dumping everything. It's everything that belongs to this network. Speaking of, get rid of that too. It's not really it's not needed anymore. It's not needed. So that network can dump its stuff. I think the sun just came out. Yeah, it's not a good sign. You know, summer's here when the sun comes up. You know, it's summer when the sun. Well, you know, you're coming out of winter here when you start seeing sunlight again. I could also turn these around. All right. Still inclined to say this is pretty unnecessary. This loading. I mean, it's only a half belt blue circuits. It's barely a thing. If anything, it's just going to clog up a single chest and struggle to load. Hmm. Yeah, like most of these chests are going to get it all. Could limit it to one row. Eh. Or I can just leave it and pretend it's not a problem. What's amazing is that the blue circuits have entirely come from, for the most part, come from this. This has satisfied all the needs up until this point. Oh jeez, bot explosion on the gears. Oh, more build. More belt. Happy with that. Mostly, at least. I mean, I could push it all a bit closer. I'm kind of tempted to do that, but I probably shouldn't. Just edging now, I'm just edgelording everyone. Oh dear. It's so close to being all plugged in. How many murders can you get away with? The final round with Zine was wild. We by the end of the game, when we killed the last person to win it, there was just bodies everywhere. You had a hard time walking around not finding a body and not falling over one. Was that actually... Oh, 16, okay. Yeah, the Polus, if you get a bit of luck and some decent kills, and when you're really in sync with your teammate, with your fellow imposter mate, it's insane how fast the bodies fall. You know what I forgot? That's why I left that there. First 3 rounds ever were all imposters. Damn. The very first game I played, I was imposter. That was an experience. I did get really lucky on that first ever game though. And I was like, yeah, self-report. And then everyone was like, sure, self-report. It's pretty funny. I really want to push it closer, but I probably shouldn't. Bad thing is, talking to girlfriend, the second round started. When, yes again, so, call emergency meeting, so, okay, which one are you? Stay quiet. It's amazing how much staying quiet helps. It lets you just slip under the radar. Sometimes you just gotta make it... Oh, it's a weird dynamic you gotta maintain. Like, on one hand, you gotta keep yourself... When they're distracted, you gotta keep yourself under the radar. Just don't say anything that really gets the thinking wheels turning. And then other times, you really gotta be more active. That's really, really horrible. I mean, to be fair, I could keep these separate all the way up here. Alright, I think it's safe to plug it in now. Here we go. Actually, have we seen more circuits? No. Or yes.
They're going to be filling for a while. They're soaking up a lot of greens. Right, there we go. And most of it goes into these two. These will hardly ever see any. It's kind of unnecessary, that loader. Oh, you're still not unclogged yet. We should get to about 14k blue circuits a minute. We're already sitting around 12. I mean, it's already more than what the base needs. It only needs 8, so we're... that's what, a third extra. No, that's an extra 50%. If the fourth belt was... Or is it full? Oh, it is full. Train did come through. So, okay, that is maximum, 12k. Oh, that's right, it's like 6.2 or something. Yeah, so that's blue circuits running flat out. Latch out. I'm not going to use that one anyway. That's not a silly amount of blue circuits a minute, is it? 12k a minute. It's a perfectly rational number. Look at the consumption. 181,000, 182,000. Apex predator of green circuits. They are. Look at it go. Considering them only producing 36. It's wild, it is. Think of all the mining outposts I need. I need a lot of mining outposts. Running out. That'd be because of the wonkiness before. Probably. I mean, in a very short amount of time, it's going to start screaming for trains. That's... Oh, also, what's you look like? See, it's on the game update's only 4 point... Not even 5 yet. Not even halfway to maximum UPS. All things considered, speaking of. How's the activity looking? A lot of active inserters there. That's the one downside to blue circuits, is you just get maximum activity. Can't do anything about it. And looking for red circles. Red circles is good. Red circles means idle inserters. The more inserters idle, the more game performance you save. And the more the game runs at the higher speed, the proper speed. Are we losing it? Yeah, we're starting to lose it now. Probably because it's eaten all of the green circuits. The belt missing. That's embarrassing. Or at least it'll get consumed either way. $160,000. The peak, 184. That's why I need over 250,000 green circuits a minute. Most of it's just to satisfy this monster. It's also a good thing I didn't want to go direct plate to blue circuits in the end. And just set it somewhere, set this up isolated. This would have been a monster otherwise. I
think I did it on the rail bus actually. They're having the plate go straight into these. One empty at the bottom. One of the unloaders is empty. I think it's about to be 2 empty. The amazing thing is that this is just eating all continuous belts of greens. Yeah, that's because this one's empty. Should start seeing them all go empty eventually. 5, 6, oh, or not. 3, 3, 3. Give it time. It's like a blue whale feeding on krill. So in the last hour, or even 10 minutes, yeah, 10 minutes, just made 63,000 and consumed 1 million green circuits. Actually done the 20 million? Yeah, I've done double the 20 million. Most of it in recent history. Well, that's delightful, that is. The build's basically done. I still need to connect it up though. Yeah, I'll bring that in. Budge those together. I'll probably bring... when this patch goes, I'll bring the whole lot together. Bring it across there. And then I'll move that to the other side of this output track with the supply stop. And then it can just come up there to another T-junction. That way the trains come in around and out and they don't cross each other. Don't want to twist the junction if possible. Like if I came in... actually, it still wouldn't matter. I came in and unloaded this side. Because it's still coming in this side. Oh, no. Yeah, this crosses the exit. So yeah, if I was exiting this side, the exiting trains would have to cross the incoming trains. Which, yeah, you don't want. Wonder if I can get away with single track as well. It's interesting as they didn't go there. Train. Okay. Anyway, I think that is a good note to leave it on for today. I'm just not going to see much more now. I need to, so, yeah, next time I think, maybe go back and look at smelting again. In between now and next time, I'll see if I can get the landfill all done there. Maybe clear out some more bioters too, or might get another shooty place going. Or, even better, maybe I'll start thinking about some more science builds. That way I can procrastinate on smelting even further. As I say, there's lots to do. There's a lot to do. I kind of want to do science because I need to get the artillery range going. In fact, still to do. I need to do rocket fuel. I do a lot of things. So I need the smelting, but I guess I do have that smelting even though it's nowhere near enough. I need to plug all those in. But I can survive off those. I'm tempted to actually do science next time. Or, yeah, science. Alright.